Hey guys, so I just came back from spending about 5 hours with relatives, and I haven't seen them, so I haven't seen some of them in about 5, 6 years, because they don't live in Hawaii. So, what I noticed is I have one uncle who is older than my dad, but he looks really good for his age, in my opinion. So I asked him, I just had to ask him, I said, what do you do? Like, what do you eat? And this is what he told me, and I'm going to share it with you guys because maybe this will give a little insight about how his day is. So he wakes up, he drinks some coffee, he puts a little bit of like that Starbucks macchiato creamer in there, and then he eats two hard boiled eggs. The reason why he eats two hard boiled eggs is because he doesn't want to have fried eggs, right? And then for lunch, he will normally eat maybe like a handful of nuts, and then he'll eat some blueberries as well, or maybe he'll eat a small salad. Oh, I forgot to say, so his breakfast, I'm so sorry, you guys. So his breakfast is coffee with that Starbucks macchiato creamer, two hard boiled eggs, and about a dozen blueberries. His lunch is a handful of nuts and maybe a small salad. Or sometimes he skips lunch. And then his dinner is usually salad with mayonnaise. I know this sounds weird. Salad with mayonnaise and then Costco rotisserie chicken. And then he'll also add blueberries on there. So this is very low carb. And as a result of that, he finds that he doesn't have to worry that much about his blood pressure, and he feels healthier. And I was thinking, like, really freaking mayonnaise with your salad? But he looks great. In my opinion, he looks really good. His weight hasn't, like, from what I see, like, his weight hasn't changed from when the last time I saw him. Like, in fact, as far as I can recall, he's always been around the same weight. It's really something. He's never really gotten wider, and I think it's because he's very mindful, right? If he gains a little weight, then he'll do calorie restriction. But yeah, he says he dropped 10 pounds after he went on this low carb diet, and every time his stats are kind of like the same. So I was really impressed by that. And then I found out my aunt, she also goes on a low, she's been on keto for about 10 years. I was so shocked. I had no idea. And she looks great for her age. She looks youthful as well. And then my dad, personally, he's been cutting out a lot of carbohydrates. He's been not eating rice. And I remember when I saw him at the airport, I thought, wow, he looks like he lost weight. And sure enough, he did lose weight. He didn't change. Like, he exercises basically just walking around, or mild aerobics, but mostly just walking. And yeah, the weight just seems to fall off of him. And yeah, he looks much healthier than he did before. He definitely looks less padded. And he says the only big change he did was eat less rice. And he says that he eats a lot of sardines. I'm a big fan of sardines as well. So keeping that kind of stuff in mind, I really do think that low carb seems to work. And I've said this before. If you guys do have a low carb diet, you do not have to really worry much about weight fluctuations. I find that for myself. I really like having a low carb diet because I feel better on it. However, as I shared with you guys, if you are an Asian female, then you have to worry about getting possible keto rash. And I did a stream about that, some keto rash stream. You guys can look it up if you want to. And yeah, it just kind of surprised me. So keto diet is not for everybody, but for me and for my family members, I didn't even know they were basically on keto. Like I said, I don't consider myself on keto. I consider myself to be on low carb. I think I consume more calories than to stay out of keto. But I do eat things like bacon, I do eat things like butter, I do eat protein, I load up on the vegetables, and this kind of stuff, you see? So this is what the yes is: meat, green leafy vegetables, eggs and dairy, cheese, oils, nuts and seeds, avocados, cauliflower, berries, some non-green veggies like carrots, heavy whipping cream, diet soda. I don't drink that. Tea or coffee, and then water, right? But no is things like bread, pasta, rice, starches, potatoes, sugar, high fructose corn syrup, corn, wheat, flour, legumes, beans, fruit, soda, milk. So I eat some fruit, like I eat mangoes here and there, but I don't bananas. But I really stay way more on the. I try to stay away from a lot of wheat and rice and carbs, that kind of stuff. But I still eat it, but it's definitely a lot less than before, for sure. And yeah, I feel much better on this stuff, see? But my experience with keto is I don't want to break out in a keto rash. So yeah, as I just kind of think like, yeah, keto is good, keeps the weight in check, or being low carb keeps the weight in check. But yeah, if you get keto rash, it's absolutely miserable. See? So it's not an all meat diet. You're gonna be fine if you eat something like chicken with salad, and then like skip the croutons, add some nuts, have some like dressing. You can have something like maybe like a vinaigrette. You can have something like mayonnaise, which is what my uncle eats. Caesar dressing is considered keto, blue cheese kind of thing, high fat dairy, that kind of stuff. See. So for him, I can't. When I heard the thing, I thought like, holy crap, that's really not a lot of food to eat. But he is getting protein in there. He is getting fat in there. He is having vegetables. He is limiting his processed food, and I think that's really good. And then that kind of stuff. That kind of stuff, I think, is more sustainable for a healthy body versus all this processed crap. I don't. I mean, like, I shouldn't say it that way, but I really feel like processed foods is not that good at all. For sure. Yeah, if you can go on a keto diet, um, if you eat like a lot of meat, you should be fine. But just watch the carb intake, because I watch the carb intake. Like, I don't count my carbs, but I just am mindful. Like, okay, how many carbs did I eat today? I don't eat things like cakes or not as much cookies and things like that. I've just been kind of bit on the whole. I don't want to say anti-sugar, but like reducing the sugar for sure. Because I've heard that cancer feeds off of sugar, and I don't want to. I want to minimize my chances of getting that. Like, I love cookies, I love sugary stuff, I love ice cream, but gotta moderate it, right? Gotta moderate it for sure. See? So my uncle eats blueberries, about 12 blueberries for breakfast, part of his breakfast, and then he also has some blueberries for dinner. That's really smart because blueberries have antioxidants in there. I don't know why exactly he looks significantly more youthful, but I wouldn't be surprised if it has partially to do with what appears to be kind of like partially intermittent fasting between breakfast and dinner, because sometimes he said he skips lunch. I can't imagine like living off of 2 eggs, some coffee, blueberries, and then maybe like a handful of nuts, and like not eat anything from breakfast all the way over to dinner. But yeah, it seems like even I think like, oh man, I probably would eat more food than that. But let me see. Yeah, I mean, even for me, like, if you guys see what I eat, you probably would think, like, I don't eat very much, but I choose to go on higher protein and higher fat foods instead. Yeah. I mean, sugar is in everything. Like, I'm not gonna say shun fruits and, shun fruits at all, but something like donuts, cookies, that kind of stuff, it makes me second guess things, because, yeah, I see sugar, and I know this is pretty controversial, but I see sugar as poison, and I don't want to, I don't want to poison my body. I don't want to have people. I'm just kind of like thinking like, I don't really want to give too much sugary stuff to people, because the people that I love and that I care about, I want them to live a long life. So I don't mind buying them something like pistachio nuts or almonds, or something that doesn't have much sugar in it, versus like sugary cookies. And so yeah, so that's all I wanted to say. If I sound a little tired, I am. Yeah, it's like 10:30 at night right now, and I'm just kind of exhausted because I was out, and then I did some exercise, and I'm tired. Yeah. So, yeah, I will talk to you guys later. I gotta take a shower for sure. I'm kind of sweaty right now. I'm happy that Hawaii has the trade winds. And in case you guys never saw my community post, I've been reaching out to a lot of people in Hawaii. Not a lot, maybe like a bunch of people, shall I say. And some of these people are people that I haven't seen for a number of years. And I've shot them text messages. Some of them I shoot them messages. And I thought to myself, like, for some people, I thought, man, I haven't spoken to them in a long time. But I don't want to live a life where I kind of look back and I think, man, I really liked talking to so-and-so, and she was so great, and she was funny, and yeah, we got along really well, but I haven't spoken to her in about 4 or 5 years, and I shouldn't talk to her because it's been 4 to 5 years. Like, I think that's kind of like setting someone up for just failure, because it's like saying, like, I didn't work out last week, or I didn't work out for a year, so therefore I shouldn't work out at all because I didn't work out for a year. So yeah, I've been sending a bunch of messages. Most people, huge majority of people, did reply to me, but some of them I didn't hear any response. So I don't know if they changed numbers. I don't know if they changed like emails or whatnot. I don't know if they're checking it. Who knows? But I kind of thought to myself, you know what, Erica? At least you put it out there, right? Because if I never ever talk to them again, at least I can say to myself, it's not like I didn't reach out at all. Sometimes it's like, yeah, so I reached out to a few people, and some people were like, oh yeah, I've been wondering how you've been, or yeah, I think about you, and that kind of stuff. And I was like, oh, it's like that's something, because it's like sometimes I think we go through our lives and we don't keep in touch with people, and then after a while we think, oh, that person must have moved on, or that person must not care to talk to me because I haven't heard from them. But in actuality, it's just time moves so fast, right? And when time moves so fast, we lose focus about people, and then when we look back, sometimes we have this, like, I don't want to say lack of confidence, but we have this uncomfortableness to reach out because we think, oh, it's been such a long time. And truly, right, life is not about being joined to the hip to a person all the time. People come and they go, but I think it's very important to just know in your mind or know in your heart that if you ever see this person on the street again, it's like, hey, I haven't seen you in a while, how have you been? Or if you want to reach out to a person, like, you shouldn't let time be the barrier to prevent, because time only moves forward, right? So if we don't reach out to people, it's just like every day it just moves on and on and on. It'll be like 1 year, then 2 years, and 3 years, and 4 years, and 5 years. Now the downside is that sometimes when you reach out to people, and it's been years, they think that you want something from them or that you want to use them, but that's not the case. But yeah, it's like I genuinely wonder, like, how are these people doing? Like, let me catch up with them, kind of thing. Let me see how life has been in Hawaii. Hey, Jim. I hope you're doing well. So you know what I realized? Like, when I got back here, I realized, I was like, crap, I forgot to bring the stuff that I wanted to bring over to Hawaii, because now I'm like accessory-less, basically. There was like a piece that I really, really wanted to bring over here, and I forgot to pack it. Oh, I was so worried about like it getting lost or TSA that I thought, oh, okay, let me put it off onto the side, and then my dumb butt forgot to pack it in my carry-on. So, oh well. Live and learn. I can always, Yeah, I know where it is. It just sucks that I forgot it. So yeah. But yeah, all that stuff. That's stuff that I just I've been kind of thinking about and doing, and yeah. So right now I'm just like trying to make a schedule, or just trying to move things around in my life and see how things are. But yeah, some people, it's like they told me, they say, oh yeah, let me check my schedule, I'll get back to them, and I really hope they get back to me. But other people I haven't heard. So yeah, I don't know. I'm curious to see what happens. And at least I tried. So I've been trying to. I've been my whole goal for moving forward is I don't want to make the same mistake that I've made with like my uncle, for instance. And it's like you reach out to people, you don't really reach out to people, and then like that's how it is, right? You don't put in any effort, and if anything happens to them, you don't know how they lived. And that's been really eye-opening to me, because like I said, I spent about 5 hours with relatives today just catching up, and I was like, oh my gosh, I wish I knew this, or I wish I knew that. And yeah, it kind of sucks. Yeah, I've been to Hawaii. I hope you feel better, Jim. Yeah, so I'm in Hawaii right now, and I'm with family, and it's been great to catch up with them. And yeah, I can't wait to have find out how people have been doing. And I don't want to be one of those people where people think, oh, okay, she's in New York and she doesn't want to talk to us anymore. She's just like doing her own thing, or she's not interested. I want to communicate to people. It's like, hey, we haven't caught up in a while, but that doesn't mean that you can't call me if you want to talk, kind of thing. Like, you definitely can. And it's nice to hear from you. It's nice to hear how your life's been. And yeah, see that stuff? Like, that's the kind of stuff. Like, I know I'm repeating myself because I'm kind of tired, especially, but don't go through life wondering how things would have been if you reached out to someone, right? Like Jordan, for instance. I wish Jordan reached out to me, and that's after Jordan's passing. I realized that, yeah, I really gotta communicate to people that, hey, if you want to reach out to me, reach out to me. People that I know in my life, those people, yeah, like, just like, if I've, yeah, like, don't don't worry about, or don't feel uncomfortable about that kind of stuff. Like, I have a friend I haven't seen in over 2 years, I think. Yeah, and she's doing her own thing, and I'm really happy for her. And yeah, like, we only talk maybe once every couple months, but I know that if I saw her again, like, we would chat. We would have like no problem chatting with each other at all. It's like one of those things, it's like freaking time zones too. So sometimes, like, depending on the time zone, I can't really talk to people, right? And then even for like today, Lewis gave me a call, and I told him, I said, I'll give you a call back later because I'm with family. And then by the time I got back home, it's 10 p.m., so he's definitely asleep right now. So time zones is not really the best thing sometimes. For sure. Just got to work around it. But with technology, right, we have things like instant message, we have emails, we have messaging people on Facebook or Instagram, and there's just a bunch of ways to kind of yeah, like, if you're talking to someone, like, who cares if you're how many hours behind or so, you can still have a conversation, for sure. So yeah, I'm getting super tired, you guys. I think I've also been kind of screwed up by the time zone difference, right? So yeah, I've been waking up and I'm just like, oh, and then I go to sleep and I'm like, oh, yeah. So somewhere in between, I definitely had a lack of sleep somewhere. I can't remember my time zones, but so I gotta get my sleep cycle back for sure. And yeah, I shouldn't be this tired right now, but I guess it's what, 10 10:32 p.m. Hawaii time. I don't know what time this is in New York time, but I'm gonna go to take a shower, go to sleep, and then wake up, and hopefully I'm set up and I wake up at like 8 o'clock or so. Oh no. Yeah, so I heard Hawaii has like the Delta variants coming out too. So they've been recommending people to get vaccinated. That's what they've been telling people, like, get vaccinated. And it seems like everybody I know got vaccinated, but I'm just like thinking to myself, like, you know what? I just kind of want to wait just a little bit, because I don't want to get like the shot and then end up with complications. That's it. Oh, I'm so tired. Oh. Yeah. So, yeah. Good is just under 100 cases. I think Hawaii has like 13 cases, but I might be remembering it wrong. Yeah, so I really am feeling super tired. So I'll talk to you guys later. And even though this is like a really short, kind of brief stream or whatnot, yeah, please reach out to people that you haven't spoken to. Again, think of the pros and the cons, right? If you're on your deathbed, or you worry about a person, or you're on your deathbed, or you're kind of looking back at your life when you're 80 or 90 years old, you don't want to think like, man, I remember thinking back 40 years ago I should reach out to a person, but I never reached out to them, I never heard from them. And yeah, it's much better to just have it on your brain that I tried and they didn't reply to me, and it is what it is. And I rather live the latter rather than the former, because I don't want to live a life really of having regrets, of not doing anything, right? Because if I just kind of wonder, like, hey, wow, I haven't spoken to that person in a while, oh, maybe I should message them, and then I don't do anything, I find that maybe like months pass, years pass, and then it becomes, it can seem more uncomfortable or so, and that's not a really good thing to do. See where I'm getting at? Yeah, so. Yeah, Jim, I hope when you get the Pfizer, I hope you don't have any complications. I hope it goes smoothly for you, for sure. I know some people, they have the complications to the you know what, and, yeah, but they get through it. I haven't known anyone who had complications. Yeah. Yeah, you know what? Tell me about it. I'm curious, because I've heard about this whole flowers thing as well. But yeah, I'll talk to you later, Jim, about it. And yeah, I'm curious to hear what it is, but definitely not right now, because I'm so tired. So tired. Okay, you guys, good night. And yeah, don't live a life thinking about, why the hell am I showing this? Don't live a life where you have all these kind of, you know, wonders, because it's not good. Yeah. And yeah, so for my little experiment that I shared with you guys, a huge majority of people, you know, are gonna meet up with me, and they're expressing like, yeah, let's catch up. And there's a few people who haven't replied back to me yet. And again, I don't know if their number changed. I don't know if they're not checking their messages or whatnot. Again, it's only been about not that long. It's been less than a day. But yeah, it's just like, I kind of look at it up like, I hope they reply. Hopefully they're not like me though, and they don't check their messages for like a couple weeks. Whoops. Yeah, I'm really guilty of that. Like, sometimes I don't check my emails for a couple of weeks. That's not good. Yeah. Okay, I'll talk to you guys later. You guys have a good night, and see ya.